morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, members. Good morning, everyone from the local associations, as well as our executive officers and our invited guests. But we must really appreciate you being here with us to celebrate 100 years of Home and School and 75 years of the Quebec Federation of Home and School Associations. So welcome and thank you for being with us.
Obviously, there is a very dark cloud on the horizon in Quebec right now called Bill 40, which will fundamentally change how our schools are governed and the participation of the English-speaking community in the control and management of its schools. They want to be known as the government that said they're going to do this, they're going to do it as quickly as possible, and damn the consequences. And on something that is such a fundamental issue as this, that's a very poor approach. To me, $1 million is still a lot of money, or $2 million is still a lot of money. Our schools could all use that money as opposed to debating these important principles in the court, but it is one of the potential outcomes. But as I say, just in closing, I want to be able to say at the end of the day that I tried everything possible to find a different solution, to find a political solution, so that your participation in the education of your children, my participation in the education of my grandchildren now, is something that is respected, because these are fundamental questions. These are things that, to our place in Quebec society as an English-speaking minority, are fundamental. So thank you to the allies in the room. Thank you for listening to me. I'm more than willing to answer questions because it is really complicated. And I've tried to do the best I can to make something simple, but c'est pas évident. Thank you for listening.
When you incorporate...
Is that okay?
Instead of saying, okay, me and Jim and Sally, we all agreed to run the Home and School Association, we're going to create this Home and School Association as its own legal person. So that means it has its own name that you're going to register. And we're going to register it in the federal or the provincial registry of enterprises. And now we're going to have certain legal obligations that unincorporated ones don't have. That's a complicated question. Yeah, I would just say it's not that every organization that gets status now all of a sudden skyrockets in donations. It's still people fighting for a really small pot.
The box lunches are in the back there, so just go pick one up, grab a drink. You can either eat in here or you can walk to the library and sit there and eat.
Oh yeah, you're a total voice. You talk to everybody, or everybody emails you or texts you and everything else, and you have a greater understanding of what the kids need because you're in the school a little bit more than the average parent, and kids talk to you because they feel comfortable with you, and you get to see and know what they want, and it actually is a really, really fun thing.
So every month when I get feedback from parents as to what works, what doesn't work, we just fiddle things around, just drop and drag, click and whatever, and the next time it goes out, that saves us a new template, and we can just do the same thing going forward.
So basically what we're looking at is streamlining the whole process to increase efficiency and fundraising capability. So if you're doing pizza, for instance, you want to do it by class, so you still have to organize it by class. But what's nice is that everything can be exported. It takes seconds. Here's our glam page. And those are my kids. And here's our pizza page.
We think it's relaxing because they're just sitting there very calmly and looking at the iPad, and they're not moving and they're not talking and they're just still. But the opposite is happening in here. Okay, so a good hour to 2 hours before bedtime, you should not allow electronics. You want to do something else? Fine, read a book. Imagine.
We go upstairs, we do teeth brushing, bathroom, we sit and we let them say all the things that they have to say about all the little things in their day.
Yeah.
And then we switch, and then they get to do it with the other parent.
We need more of that family time and to speak and share, because everybody's in their own little worlds, and social media is like the other world. And then what happens is that we get all this heightened anxiety in teens and kids because they're not actually communicating and sharing. Oh, this happened today. And then you talk about it as a family, and then they're kind of like, they're dumping, right? And then they have a clearer slate to actually, when they go to bed, with a clearer mind.
Well, thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I've been part of the Home and School for about 6 years, and we've raised funds for our library, so that was a big fundraiser. We have a brand new library, which is great, and we also raise funds for other things like gym equipment. We help pay for the jungle sport at the school, activities for the kids, and we run a holiday fair, which is well received by the community, so it's a lot of fun.
The rules for running a raffle. Maybe this is a workshop we need to organize on fundraising and what are the legalities, because this is what we've heard, that if it's 99 cents, it's not called the raffle, it's called the draw.
I believe bingo only falls into that if the prizes are cash.
We also go to them when we have any purchase that we're making with Home and School funds that's exceeding $3,000.
Why?
I don't know, I'm asking.
At the beginning of the year, or even in May, you go to the principal and you sit down with the principal and you decide what you're going to hold during the year.
Most years are a bit repetitious, right? I mean, you're not reinventing the wheel every year.
Unless you're coming up with a brand new project. Like I know all of a sudden these new bikes have come out where the kids, or the active kids can sit on a bike while they're in class and do that. And some of the teachers are asking for Home and School to purchase them. So some Home and Schools have been able to raise the money to buy one for one teacher, and then of course the next teacher is going to ask for it and another teacher. So, you know, at that point the principal has gone to the board now to ask for the money because he knows how important they are. But you started it. You were the first ones that brought it in.
Last year we passed a resolution, no single-use plastic bottles. So, I mean, Home and School is now using them.
In an office we don't have anymore, but we have, you know, regular glass, you know, and we have somebody doing the dishes and stuff. So in the school, it might be a little bit more tricky. So we have to find
compostable cups.
And we picked out which type of water bottle that they would use. It's the only one they're allowed to use. Making noise during class, and you could hear like blah, 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 and then the teachers didn't want that. And now it has a school logo on it, it has a Home and School logo on it.
We are really trying to be super, super green. Like when we do have pizza, all the pizza boxes can go in the compost. You serve it on a napkin. The napkin goes in the compost.
I joined the Roslyn Home and School Association initially because my daughter had started school there and because it seemed like a great way to meet other parents, get involved, find out what I could do as a volunteer parent in the school. I very much do believe that it does take many people to raise a child. And it's not just one parent, one child. And the kids begin to realize that, you know, there are other parents who contribute to their environment and their education.